Packed a shirt and a half-broken plan. Took the dirt road out past Miller's Land. You said don't turn back if it gets hard, so I kept my hands on the wheel in the dark. Halfway up my legs felt steel, then the trees gave way to the hill, and the sky got wide enough to make my chest feel light. At the top of the mountain, my worries looked small. One by one they settled down in the valley below. At the top of the mountain, I could finally hear how a long, hard road can make the fear disappear. My phone stayed quiet in my coat. No missed calls, no news, no smoke. Just my boots in the sagebrush air, and a red tail circling somewhere near. I laughed out loud at the weight I wore, like a borrowed coat that fit no more. The whole world faded soft at the edge of that view. At the top of the mountain, my worries looked small. One by one they settled down in the valley below. At the top of the mountain, I could finally hear how a long, hard road can make the fear disappear. I thought I needed proof, a sign in the stone, but the climb itself was turning me home. I stood there still with the wind on my face, and all that I carried lost most of its place. At the top of the mountain, my worries looked small. One by one they settled down in the valley below. At the top of the mountain, I could finally hear how a long, hard road can make the fear disappear. I parked where the gravel ends, tied my boots by the sign, kept a whole week in my pocket and a storm in my mind. The trail cut through pine needles like it knew my name, but every step got lighter with the air up on my face. The sky kept pulling wider, like it had time to waste. Way up here, the hard stuff shrinks down to a couple of rocks and wind. What I dragged all day feels thin way up here. Way up here, I can breathe again. My heavy heart fits in my hands. The world looks small where I stand way up here. At the ridge I saw the valley fold like an old blue quilt. houses look like paper matches, and my fear lost what it built. I thought of calls I kept avoiding, bills on the kitchen table. Funny how the mountain teaches what the ground won't make you able. The sunset brushed the needle tips, gold on every stone. I stood still and let it hit me, I was not climbing alone. Way up here, the hard stuff shrinks down to a couple of rocks, and when what I dragged all day feels thin way up here. Way up here, I can breathe again. My heavy heart fits in my hands. The world looks small where I stand way up here. I don't need to solve it all tonight, I just need this view. One more breath, one more mile, a little more truth. If I fall back into worry, I'll remember what I saw. The mountain didn't move for me, but it moved me after all. Packed a bag before sunrise. You said I was overthinking again. Same old list in my pocket, bills, bad news, and the rain. I climbed through the switchback pines with your handprint in my mind. Every step got a little lighter, every mile left less to mind. And the road kept folding higher till the air turned thin and clear. I looked down at my little troubles, and they got quiet up here. On the mountaintop, I can finally breathe. What felt so heavy fits in the valley beneath. On the mountaintop, I see it change. The world looks smaller, and my heart feels less afraid. There was a kid with a red knit cap, laughing by the stone cairn wall. A man with a thermos and a map said he comes back here every fall. I watched the clouds move slow, like they had nowhere left to prove. And I thought about your tired eyes, how you needed this view too. And the road kept folding higher till the air turned thin and clear. I looked down at my little troubles, and they got quiet up here. On the mountaintop, I can finally breathe. What felt so heavy fits in the valley beneath. On the mountaintop, I see it change. The world looks smaller, and my heart feels less afraid. sky and space, something far enough away to put our fear in its place. On the mountaintop, I can finally breathe. What felt so heavy fits in the valley beneath. On the mountaintop, I see it change. The world looks smaller, and my heart feels less afraid. I took the long dirt road past the split rail fence with a packed up heart and a head full of sense. My boots knew the dust, my hands knew the climb. I was counting my troubles one step at a time. But the ridge kept rising like it had nowhere to be, and the valley got smaller than the fear in me. At the mountain top, it all looked small. The weight I carried wasn't much at all. At the mountain top, I could finally see some things were bigger than they were to me. There was a hawk on the wind and a crack in the stone, a lunch in my pocket and a long way home. I thought of old worries I kept like stone, but up where the sky lives, they started coming loose. The same hands that trembled found the railing of the light, and I breathed like I'd been given back my whole life. At the mountain top, it all looked small. The weight I carried wasn't much at all. At the mountain top, I could finally see some things were bigger than they were to me. I don't need answers for every bend. I just need the faith to go down again, with the dust on my jeans and the sun in my hair, knowing the thing I was breaking wasn't really there. At the mountain top, it all looked small, and I came back softer than I went to haul. Left the house before sunrise with a paper cup in hand. You said I looked too worried, like I was made of sand. We took the road through cedar past the fence and winter wheat. I kept my eyes on the guardrail and my thoughts on my feet. But the air got thin and honest on that rocky climb. You said, keep going, darling, breeze hold steady. I know how the sky can mend, and I know your hand in mine can make me strong again. Way up here it all looks small, the hurt, the hurry, the tangled haul. You and me on a narrow line, and the whole wide world feels kind. Way up here I can breathe again, leave my heavy heart with the wind. I don't need to know it all. Way up here it all looks small. We left before sunrise, dust on the tailgate. My boots knew the trail before my mind did. You said keep breathing when the path got steep. The switchbacks kept coming, my legs started shaking, but the sky got wider with every turn we took. At the top of the mountain, my worry looked small, just a stone in my pocket. Then I finally dropped. At the top of the mountain, I could see it all. What I carried so heavy wasn't heavy at all. Wind in the pines now, hair stuck to my face. I laughed at the cold air for the first time in weeks. Your hand found mine there, like it knew the way. The whole town down below fit in one blink. All the names I was chasing went quiet in me. At the top of the mountain, my worry looked small, just a stone in my pocket that I finally dropped. At the top of the mountain, I could see it all. What I carried so heavy wasn't heavy at all. I had built a whole storm out of one hard season, but the view let it go piece by piece. So I breathed in the blue and let the hurt shrink. At the top of the mountain, my worry looked small, just a stone in my pocket that I finally dropped. At the top of the mountain, I could see it all. What I carried so heavy wasn't heavy at I packed my old boots and a half-drunk coffee. You said take your time, like the day was waiting. The road kept curling up past the split rail fence, past the red clay banks and the fence post ends. By noon the air got thin and my breath went slow. My phone lost the bars, I let it go. Every worry I'd worn like a heavy coat started slipping off with each step I rode. Up on the mountain, it all got small. Up on the mountain, I could hear my name. There was a hawk above, circle after circle, a kid in a blue cap waving from the trail. I laughed out loud at how I'd been scared of things that fit in a pocket there. I thought of your face when you said go on, how the hard part shrinks when you carry on. At the top I stood with the whole sky near, and the old dark worry turned to air. Up on the mountain, it all got small. Up on the mountain, I could hear my name. I came back changed, not bigger, just lighter, less like a storm, more like a river. If I lose my way, I know where to go. Past the fence, past the bend, past the place that shows. Up on the mountain, it all got small, and I came back home carrying nothing at all. I packed my fear in the glove box with a half-full cup and a map. You said keep going past the cattle gate, so I did, and I didn't look back. The road got thin as a promise, pines leaned in cold and tall. My thoughts were loud in the gravel, till the mountain heard them all. And the air got clean at the last sharp bend. I could see my house like a pin on the wind. Up here it all feels small. What a long way I came, from the weight I dragged to a sky that knows my name. Up here it all feels small, and I can finally breathe. I brought home a little summer in the pocket of my dust. Had packed a bag before sunrise. You said I was overthinking again. Same old list in my pocket. Bills, bad news, and the rain. I climbed through the switchback pines with your handprint in my mind. Every step got a little lighter. Every mile left less to mine. And the road kept folding higher till the air turned thin and clear. I looked down at my little troubles, and they got quiet up here. On the mountaintop, I can finally breathe. What felt so heavy fits in the valley beneath. On the mountaintop, I see it change. The world looks smaller and my heart feels less afraid. There was a kid with a red knit cap, laughing by the stone cairn wall. A man with a thermos and a map said he comes back here every fall. I watch the clouds move slow, like they had nowhere left to prove. And I thought about your tired eyes, how you needed this view too. And the road kept folding higher till the air turned thin and clear. I looked down at my little troubles, and they got quiet up here. On the mountaintop, I can finally breathe. What felt so heavy fits in the valley beneath. On the mountaintop, I see it change. The world looks smaller and my heart feels less afraid. Maybe that's all we need. left the house before sunrise, with a paper cup in hand. You said I looked too worried, like I was made of sand. We took the road through cedar, past the fence and winter wheat. I kept my eyes on the guardrail and my thoughts on my feet. But the air got thin and honest on that last rocky climb. You said, keep going, darling, we'll be fine in time. Way up here it all looks small, the hurt, the hurry, the tangled haul. You and me on a narrow line, and the whole wide world feels kind. Way up here I can breathe again, leave my heavy heart with the wind. I don't need to know it all. Way up here it all looks small. At the top you laughed out loud, at the bend in my old fear. We shared a bag of peaches and a blanket on a stone bench near. The valley wore its patches like a quilt someone kept warm, and everything I carried felt lighter in my arms. Then the sky went gold and quiet, and you brushed my hair aside. Said you've done enough for one day, just look and let it ride. Way up here it all looks small, the hurt, the hurry, the tangled haul. You and me on a narrow line, and the whole wide world feels kind. Way up here I can breathe again, leave my heavy heart with the wind. I don't need to know it all. Way up here it all looks small. If I go back down tomorrow, I may carry the same load, but tonight the dark can't find me. I know a better road. I know how the trees hold steady, I know how the sky can mend, and I know your hand and mine can make me strong again. Way up here it all looks small, the hurt, the hurry, the tangled haul. You and me on a narrow line, and the whole wide world feels kind. Way up here I can breathe again, leave my heavy heart with the wind. I don't need to know it all. Way up here it all looks small. We left before sunrise, dust on the tailgate. My boots knew the trail before my mind did. You said keep breathing when the path got steep. The switchbacks kept coming, my legs started shaking, but the sky got wider with every turn we took. At the top of the mountain, my worry looks small, just a stone in my pocket that I finally dropped. first time in weeks, your hand found mine there, like it knew the way. The whole town down below fit in one blink. All the names I was chasing went quiet in me. At the top of the mountain, my worry looked small, just a stone in my pocket that I dropped. At the top of the mountain, I could see it all. What I carried so heavy wasn't heavy at all. I had built a whole storm out of one hard season, but the view at the top of the mountain, my worry looked small, just a stone in my pocket that I finally dropped. At the top of the mountain, I could see it all. What I carried so heavy wasn't heavy at all. Packed a shirt and a half-broken plan, took the dirt road out past Miller's Land. You said don't turn back if it gets hard, so I kept my hands on the wheel in the dark. Halfway up my legs felt steel, then the trees gave way to the hill, and the sky got wide enough to make my chest feel light. At the top of the mountain, my worries looked small. One by one they settled down in the valley below. At the top of the mountain, I could finally hear how a long, hard road can make the fear disappear. My phone stayed quiet in my coat. No missed calls, no news, no smoke, just my boots and the sagebrush air, and a red tail circling somewhere near. I laughed out loud at the weight I wore, like a borrowed coat that fit no more. The whole world faded soft at the edge of that view. At the top of the mountain, my worries looked small. One by one they settled down in the valley below. At the top of the mountain, I could finally hear how a long, hard road can make the fear disappear. At the top of the mountain, my worries look small. One by one they settled down in the valley below. At the top of the mountain, I could finally hear how a long, hard road can make the fear disappear. I took the long dirt road past the split rail fence with a packed up heart and a head full of sense. My boots knew the dust, my hands knew the climb. I was counting my troubles one step at a time. But the ridge kept rising like it had nowhere to be, and the valley got smaller than the fear in me. At the mountain top, it all looked small. The weight I carried wasn't much at all. At the mountain top, I could finally see some things were bigger than they were to me. There was a hawk on the wind and a crack in the stone, a lunch in my pocket and a long way home. I thought of old worries I kept like stone, but up where the sky lives they started coming loose. The same hands that trembled found the railing of the light, and I breathed like I'd been given back my whole life. At the mountain top, it all looked small. The weight I carried wasn't much at all. At the mountain top, I could finally see some things were bigger than they were to me. I don't need answers for every bend, I just need the faith to go down again. With the dust on my jeans and the sun in my hair, knowing the thing I was breaking wasn't really At the mountain top, it all looked small, and I came back softer than I went to haul. I parked where the gravel ends, tied my boots by the sign. Kept a whole week in my pocket and a storm in my mind. The trail cut through pine needles like it knew my name. But every step got lighter with the air up on my face. The sky kept pulling wider like it had time to waste. Way up here, the hard stuff shrinks down to a couple of rocks and a wind. I saw the valley fold like an old blue quilt. Houses look like paper matches, and my fear lost what it built. I thought of calls I kept avoiding, bills on the kitchen table. Funny how the mountain teaches what the ground won't make you able. The sunset brushed the needle tips, gold on every stone. I stood still and let it hit me. I was not climbing alone. Way up here, the hard stuff shrinks down to a couple of rocks and wine. What I dragged all day feels thin. Way up here, way up here, I can breathe again. My heavy heart fits in my hands. The world looks small where I stand. Way up here, I don't need to solve it all tonight. I just need this view. One more breath, one more mile, and a little more truth. If I fall back into worry, I remember what I saw. The mountain didn't move for me, but it moved me. After all, we left before sunrise, dust on the tailgate. My boots knew the trail before my mind did. You said keep breathing when the path got steep. Switchbacks kept coming, my legs started shaking, but the sky got wider with every turn we took. At the top of the mountain, my worry looks small, just a stone in my pocket that I finally dropped. At the top of the mountain, I could see it all. What I carried so heavy wasn't heavy at all. Wind in the pines now, hair stuck to my face. I laughed at the cold air for the first time in weeks. Your hand found mine there, like it knew the way. The whole town down below fit in one blink. All the names I was chasing went quiet in me. At the top of the mountain, my worry looks small, just a stone in my pocket just a stone in my pocket that I finally dropped at the top of the mountain. I could see it all. What I carried so heavy wasn't heavy at all. Packed my fear in the glove box with a half-full cup and a map. You said keep going past the cattle gate, so I did, and I didn't look back. The road got thin as a promise. Pines leaned in cold and tall. My thoughts were loud in the gravel till the mountain heard them all. And the air got clean at the last sharp bend. I could see my house like a pin on the wind. Up here it all feels small. What a long way I came, from the weight I dragged to a sky that knows my name. Up here it all feels small, and I can finally breathe. The mountain took my worry and gave me back to me. Carved in stone or buried deep, but the summit had a quiet that settled right over me. There was your voice in my memory saying, don't you quit on yourself. And the trouble that chased me for miles fell off somewhere by the fence. And the wind set slow, so I let it. One hand on my chest, one hand on the edge. Up here it all feels small. What a long way I came, from the weight I dragged to a sky that knows my name. Up here it all feels small, and I can finally breathe. The mountain took my worry and gave me back to me. I could cry, I could laugh at the same old ache. It looks so fierce in the living room, but from here it fades. I don't need a map for peace, just a step at a time in this little heart of mine, climbing into life. Down there the week can wait, the bills, the noise, the rush. I brought home a little summit in the pocket of my dusk. I packed my old boots and a half-drunk coffee. You said take your time, like the day was waiting. The road kept curling up past the split rail fence, past the red clay banks and the fence post ends. By noon the air got thin and my breath went slow. My phone lost the bars, I let it go. Every worry I'd worn, like a heavy coat, started slipping off with each step I rolled. Up on the mountain, it all got small. Up on the mountain, I could hear my sidewalk above, circle after circle, a kid in a blue cap waving from the trail. I laughed out loud at how I'd been scared of things that fit in a pocket there. I thought of your face when you said go on, how the hard part shrinks when you carry on. At the top I stood with the whole sky near, and the old dark worry turned to air. Upon the mountain, it all got small. Upon the mountain, I could hear my came back changed, not bigger, just lighter, less like a storm, more like a river. If I lose my way, I know where to go. Past the fence, past the bend, past the place that shows. Upon the mountain, it all got small, and I